Have you ever met someone for the first time but felt like you've known them forever? Encountered a symbol that triggered an inexplicable emotional response? These moments might be glimpses of ancient patterns buried deep in our minds, shaping how we see the world without even realizing it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe. And if you were subscribed, you would have seen in the last video, I was talking about Carl Jung. I promised you this follow-on video talking about ancient symbols and the collective unconscious. So what is this collective unconscious? Why do stories and symbols from vastly different cultures from all over the world, why do they echo each other? Why does a young child draw spirals and suns before even being taught these symbols? Carl Jung proposed a profound answer: the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is a shared foundation of the human psyche that connects us all through time and space. In today's video, we're going to explore this fascinating concept and see how it might be quietly influencing your perceptions, your relationships, and even your dreams. Think of your mind as having three layers. The surface layer is your conscious awareness. Your conscious awareness is what you're thinking right now, what you're experiencing watching this video. Just below that lies your personal unconscious. Your personal unconscious holds your personal memories and experiences. But Jung suggested there was a third layer, something deeper, the collective unconscious. Inherited tendencies to understand and respond to the world in fundamental shared ways. This isn't about inheriting specific memories, but rather a universal way of interpreting the world, a predisposition to organize experiences using universal patterns. You could think of it as the underlying architecture of the human psyche. Like we're all born with the same basic operating system, even though our individual files and apps differ. Let me ask you, when was the last time you had a dream featuring symbols and scenarios that had no bearing to your daily life, no connection to your daily life? Within this collective unconscious resides archetypes, universal patterns of human experience that reside in our dreams, that manifest in our dreams, myths and stories. You can think of archetypes as ancient memes wired deep into our brains, templates that resonate across cultures and time. Recognizing these patterns can offer valuable insights into ourselves and others. Let's explore some of these patterns, some of these archetypes. The first archetype is the hero. This is the pattern of courage and transformation through challenges. We see it in ancient myths like Hercules, but we also see it in how we collectively respond to stories like The Lion King or Superman. Notice how this hero's journey, facing challenges and coming out stronger, appears time and time again throughout cultures and is repeated constantly in films like The Hunger Games or Lord of the Rings. Then there's the shadow, the unacknowledged aspects of ourselves. We spoke about the shadow in the previous video. You can find a link to that up there. These unacknowledged aspects of ourselves could be both positive and negative. This is why we're simultaneously fascinated and repelled by characters like Walter White in Breaking Bad. They embody parts of ourselves that we've rejected and don't want to acknowledge. There's the Anima and the Animus, the inner masculine aspects in women and the inner feminine aspects in men. These influence attraction patterns and relationship dynamics in ways we rarely recognize. There's the wise elder, the embodiment of wisdom, from Gandalf to Yoda to that unexpected mentor that might have appeared at an unexpected moment in your life. I'm going to tell you a story about someone we're going to call Sarah. Sarah found herself repeatedly drawn to charming but unavailable partners. After learning about archetypes, Sarah recognized that she was repeatedly casting these men as heroes who would rescue her. And she recognized that this was a pattern from early childhood. This awareness helped her break the pattern and start to form healthier relationships. Which of these archetypes do you recognize within yourself or within the dynamics of your relationships? Let me know in the comments below. These archetypes aren't confined to myths. They're actually actively shaping our modern world. Notice how the most successful films tap into these archetypal narratives. Star Wars didn't become so successful because of its special effects. It resonated because it perfectly depicted the hero's journey and other archetypes, as we said, Yoda being the wise person, the guide. In media, brands actively tap into this archetypal narrative. Apple might have once been considered the rebel, challenging the establishment. Disney as the kind of innocent, promising, magic and wonder. These patterns work because they speak to something deeper than just conscious preference. In relationships, the mother archetype influences how we expect nurturing to look. The trickster archetype appears in how we are drawn to charismatic but unpredictable personalities. Recognizing these shadow projections can help us to get an understanding, an explanation as to why we're so often irritated by traits we see in others when we're actively suppressing them within ourselves. In personal growth, becoming aware of your archetypal patterns and integrating all of your archetypal patterns can lead to greater psychological balance and authenticity. And starting in October, I have a 4-week authenticity program. You can find a link to that in the description below. Before we continue, let's address two common misunderstandings about Jung's work. about Jung's concepts. First, the collective unconscious isn't like a kind of hive mind where we can read other people's thoughts and see into other people's heads. The collective unconscious is the shared structure, how we perceive and categorize experiences. Second, archetypes aren't rigid categories or stereotypes. They are fluid, dynamic energies that blend and evolve with us throughout our lives. While the literal interpretation of a collective unconscious remains controversial, modern research provides interesting parallels. Evolutionary psychology suggests we've inherited fundamental ways of perceiving threats, recognizing emotions, and forming social bonds. Neuroscience reveals shared human responses to core emotional stimuli and symbolic language across cultures. These findings underscore the idea that beneath our individual experiences lie shared human tendencies and patterns. So how can understanding archetypes improve your life? Here's a simple practice that you can try after you've finished watching this video. Choose a relationship or situation in your life, something that feels charged with emotion or is challenging. Ask yourself, what archetypal story might be playing out here? Am I casting someone as the villain, hero, or the trickster? What aspects of myself might I be projecting onto others? Simply bringing awareness to these patterns can create space for new choices and responses. Other powerful ways you can start to explore archetypes: pay attention to your dreams. Reoccurring characters and themes within those dreams offer insights into your inner world. Notice your strong reactions. Intense emotional responses often signal activation of archetypal dynamics. Observe your attractions to stories. The narratives that resonate with you most deeply reveal your archetypal patterns. The goal isn't to eliminate these patterns. They're part of your human experience. The goal is to bring them into consciousness where they can inform as opposed to control your choices. Consider a successful executive. We'll call him Michael. Michael found himself increasingly frustrated and critical of a new creative team member. Through reflection, Michael came to identify that he was projecting his own inner artist, projecting his own suppressed inner artist, the character trait he had suppressed to chase success. Rather than this new colleague being the problem, Michael was suppressing his own shadow. Michael was encountering his own shadow. This awareness allowed him to not only improve their working relationship, but to reclaim his own creative interests. And this led to more innovative leadership processes, more innovative leadership approaches. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious reminds us that beneath our own individual experiences lies a shared human experience, woven with universal patterns and ancient energies. By recognizing these archetypes, we gain deeper understanding not only of ourselves, but also of the fundamental forces that shape our shared human experience. Until you make the conscious unconscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This powerful insight from Jung reminds us that awareness is the first step towards transformation. This week, see if you can notice one archetypal pattern playing out in your life. How will recognizing it change your response? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, found it useful, hit the like button. Check the description for my authenticity program, which begins in October. Right now, you can get it at a very special early bird price, and subscribe to my channel so you can get future videos like this.